In the last problem in this set, we have f of x is equal to the quantity 2x cubed plus 5x times the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. And once again, there are different ways that this can be done. You can multiply it out. I don't know that we can do a product rule with 3 products, and I'll illustrate that if we have the time, but I think that this would also be an easier one to multiply out. So we'd leave the first term alone. And then the second expression would be x squared minus x minus 6. So again, we could take one more step and multiply it out. We'd get 6 terms there if we did. And we'll multiply everything on the left times everything on the right. So 2x cubed times x squared is 2x to the 5th. 2x cubed times negative x is negative 2x to the 4th. 2x cubed times negative 6 is negative 12x cubed. Then we're going to multiply 5x times everything. 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times negative x is negative 5x squared. Then 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. And we could simplify that at least a bit. So we have 2x to the 5th, only 1x to the 4th, so minus 2x to the 4th. Then we have negative 12x cubed plus 5x cubed, which is negative 7x cubed. Then minus 5x squared and minus 30x. From there we'll find the derivative fairly easily. And we get 10x to the 4th power minus 8x to the 3rd power minus 21x squared minus 10x and minus 30. So that doesn't look like something that's very easy to factor and simplify. So I'm just going to leave that the way that it is there. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get through this example of how to do this using a product rule with 3 products. So if you're going to do a product rule with 3 products, you're going to need to group 2 of them together. So I'm going to call the 2x cubed plus 5x the first function, then x minus 3 times x plus 2 the second function. And you can multiply it out and use that function, x squared minus x minus 6. But I'll illustrate this with 3 factors. So it's the first, or 2x cubed plus 5x, times the derivative of the second. Well, the second is a product. So how do we find the derivative of product? It's the first, x minus 3, times the derivative of the second, which is just 1, plus the second times the derivative of the first. So I would call those 1d2, and we're only halfway done, right? We still need to plus 2d1. And the second function we've already defined as x minus 3 times x plus 2. And the derivative of the first is 6x squared plus 5. So we still end up with 3 things that have to be multiplied out. So it certainly would have been much easier to just multiply this out at the beginning. But let's see, we should still get the same answer. So the basic structure is 1d2 plus 2d1. And now we're ready to simplify. We still have 2x cubed plus 5x. Then that derivative became x minus 3 plus x plus 2. So that's 2x minus 1. And on the other side, we're still going to need to multiply all that out. And fortunately, we multiplied earlier. So we know x minus 3 times x plus 2 is x squared minus x minus 6. And we're going to multiply that times 6x plus 5, 6x squared plus 5. So there's a lot of work going on here. Multiplying out the first 2 factors gives 4x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 10x squared minus 5x. Multiplying out the second group, we have 6x to the 4th. X squared times 5 is 5x squared. Then negative x times 6x squared is negative 6x cubed. Then minus 5x. Then negative 36x squared. And minus 30. Now for the simplifying. X to the 4ths. We have 4 and 6, that's 10x to the 4th. We have negative 8x to the 3rd. Then the x squares will get negative 21x squared minus 10x minus 30. And we get the same answer either way. Obviously the first way was much simpler, I believe. But that's a great example of the product rule.